Well, my name is Bernice. From the time I turned 33 on up, everything just started going downhill medically for me. High blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, congestive heart failure. At one point, I was in the hospital 2 and 3 times a year. I didn't think life was worth living. My illnesses were just crashing down on me, spending time in the hospital, and the doctor's telling you, well, you need to do so and so and so, and you're hearing it, but you're not doing anything about it.
My name is Gladys. I'm a nurse case manager, and I work with patients that have diseases that are not being cared for or do not realize the benefits that are available to them.
So we are all here this morning to talk about my favorite patient. Is that correct?
Bernice's condition was very serious. Bernice had a mini stroke. The doctor said she got there just in time to prevent the big stroke. This is Gladys, the registered nurse. How are you doing this morning?
She introduced herself, and I was like, yeah. And she told me where she was from, and I was like, okay.
What are you calling for? I'll think about it. I know that her getting to trust me was the biggest issue of why she didn't want to deal with me.
I was just bent on giving her a hard time. Because I was like, you don't know me, you don't know anything about me.
At that time, I think she was so down on herself, she didn't see herself as, I need to do anything for me. Her biggest issue was money. She wasn't doing her doctor's appointments, nor was she buying the medications. She felt like she needed to either buy the groceries or help a family member. My greatest challenge was to help Bernice see that you are important to yourself and somebody else, and maybe the somebody else sometimes can make you think about yourself a little bit more.
When somebody really just throws that at you, it kind of scares you, and it makes you think, if I didn't take care of myself, I may lose my life or I may lose a limb. And then I thought about the fact that, my daughter's an only child, and, she needed me. She would say, Bernice, people are willing to help you if you would go to them, if you would ask them to help you. One Sunday I rushed to get to church and I didn't eat. It was really embarrassing because I kind of disrupted service because I was literally sick. My best friend was sitting beside me and her husband came off of the pulpit and they took care of me. And when you have people who care about you, you're going to want to do the right thing.
Your blood pressure is 139 over 83. Your blood pressure is normal.
She kept all of her appointments for that month. She did everything she had to do, got all of her medications, and I got her primary care to help her with putting her on meds that were generic to get her started on a road to do better, and she was willing.
I started looking forward to her calling me and asking me how was I doing, how was my day.
The tone in her voice would change. She wasn't as huff with me as she used to be. And when she told me her numbers were like 130 over 80 something, I'm like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now you see the benefit of what we're talking about. And she said, yes, I do.
I've always tried to visualize what she looks like. But we have never met each other. We've always talked on the phone. I'm excited to meet Gladys, but at the same time, I'm nervous. Oh, no. There was a lot of pain in the past, and Gladys saw through that, and she was just able to just talk. She never kicked me to the curb. I may have kicked her to the curb a few times, but she never kicked me to the curb. She was always there when I needed her.
My first thing I asked her to do for me each day was wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and find something good to say about herself. I said, I want you to say it twice. I know that it's getting cooler now, and exercise is the piece that we're missing. She made the change herself. I told her, I said, you made the change. I just try to help you see. We've really come a long way.
I consider Gladys a very good friend. I'm not going to cry again. I'm sorry. Okay, so.